Breckenridge, Texas, home to the simple folk. Its oil-rich beginnings back in the 1920s can still be found in its original laid red brick downtown streets. The once thriving city lost its fame as the fastest-growing oil city long ago. Its flag's rigidly sewn edges ripping fiercely in the West Texas wind stands for something. My name is Morgan Frazier. I'm a musician and a songwriter. In Breckenridge, Texas, that's where my dream began. I grew up in a little town called Breckenridge, Texas. Just a really small town and a little downtown square, Friday night football games, Sunday morning church. I learned to harmonize in church and found the love for singing there. Growing up, I learned what my grandpa knew. He was into like Patsy Montana and Loretta Lynn, so I really got my love for traditional country music through him. I recorded my first CD in a studio called Outback Studios, and it was literally out back of this guy's house. I sang the vocals in a bathroom because I guess I had the best acoustics, you know? Once we finished the album, my parents and I ordered about 1,000 copies of that CD. The CDs emblazoned with my picture on them sat on the living room floor for months. I convinced my dad that we should go downtown and try to sell the CDs at local businesses. I sold 80 CDs that day at $10 a piece. My parents were floored at what we had sold in just one day. We then set out a second day and doubled our money. It was then that my parents both quit their day jobs. The family packed up and hit the road selling CDs. I soon came to find that at age 9, I was the family's sole breadwinner. We went on the road for about 2 years, and when you're taking care of 5 people and you don't go out and sell a CD that day, like your sister doesn't eat and your brother doesn't eat, and that being up on you, the pressure of that on me is not, at 9 years old, was really hard. Get out there and sell a CD so your family can eat. You have to grow up really fast and realize, hey, I've got to do this, not because I want to, but because I have to and need to. They've invested their whole life into my dream. Most people would be shocked and just be like, where are your parents? A little blonde girl in a cowboy hat walking into a muffler shop going, you know, hi, my name is Morgan Frazier and I'm 9 years old and I'm from Breckenridge, Texas. Would you like to buy my CD? And 9 out of 10 would buy one. I mean, who could say no to a girl in a cowboy hat asking you to buy her CD? One time I walked into a store and the lady, she was very rude and decided that she was gonna take me to the door and show me the no soliciting sign and was like, do you know what this sign means? It means you can't come in here and sell CDs. That totally broke me down. I was like bawling, didn't ever want to sell another CD. I guess doing that you gotta learn rejection and hearing no like 30 times a day. I had many unique experiences, like the pit bull that came screaming out of the car repair shop. I threw my purse and the box of CDs into the air and dove into my mom's lap screaming. Quite frankly, that was gas money lying on the ground. Over that 2-year span, we sold 30,000 copies of my CD, and so that brought me to Nashville. I went to this open mic night. I ended up winning the contest and got offered a record deal. It was kind of scary at the time, and I just remember being like, I kind of wanted to be a kid for a while. At 13, my parents and I were like, are we ready for something like that? We went back home for a couple of years, and I just remember kind of being a kid for a while because I didn't really get to be a kid out on the road and didn't sell any CDs for a while. And I just remember a regular day in Breckenridge, my mom getting a phone call from John Northrop years later saying, you know, I'd love for you to come back to Nashville. Are you still interested in me getting you a record deal? It was like a no-brainer for me. I was like, yeah, definitely. I want to go back and start my career again. I never forgot my lessons from the road. At each stop, I collected a business card from each person who purchased my music. I kept them in a shoebox. I still have every single one. Those 30,000 business cards led me to the country music capital of the world, Nashville, Tennessee. We moved up to Nashville. I sat and wrote songs and wrote songs and wrote songs, and my mom and dad let it get to them a little bit. Because the music business can be like really frustrating. It was like a breaking point for them. We've been doing this since we were 9 years old. Nothing's really going anywhere. So I was like, y'all have taught me to be an independent person, and I'm sure if I can take care of 5 people, I can take care of myself. At age 16, my parents headed back with my brother and sister to Texas. Alone and still unseasoned for life in the real music business, I poured my passion into performing at the legendary Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. Still not completely satisfied, I began spending more time living in my own creative space. Having written my first song at the age of 7, I began to hone my skills on the anatomy of a song. I found my own life experiences would soon easily spill out in the form of lyrics. I signed my deal at Curb Records. I started writing with awesome writers. I wanted to learn everything there was about the structure of a song and writing a song, so I'm very, very grateful for that. I actually co-wrote my debut single, Yellow Brick Road. The first guy she meets in the story, he's real good looking, farm boy, but she's sitting there going like, oh my God, this guy does not have a brain like the Scarecrow. And then the second guy she meets, he is, you know, real good looking, plays all the girls, tells them what they want to hear, and he doesn't have a heart like the Tin Man. And the third guy she meets, he is afraid of commitment. He was a down-home cutie with a farm boy smile, big blue eyes like the Kansas sky. Sat down beside me and we talked a bit. I told him my dreams, he told me his. It became so clear with every word he said that that boy didn't have a brain in his head. Sometimes I think I'm lost in a fairy tale in the land of Oz where nothing's real. Is it too much to ask for someone to see from a boy really is what he seems to be? I wish I knew which way that I could go. Oh, I wish I knew which way to go, 'cause you can't find love on the yellow brick road. No, no. While I am only 19 years of age, I feel as though I've lived a recording artist life already. Having traveled from small town to small town, performing for young and old, and working my craft, I always want to get better. Be a better songwriter, a better entertainer, a better person. Like that flagpole back in Breckenridge. It stands for my dream that my music can stand the test of time and make a connection with people all over the world. I am blessed to have had the life experiences I've had along this journey, a journey that continues down my own yellow brick road.